Hey everyone, AmberFrmThVault here. Welcome to a brand new video. Now this is a little bit different than the ones that we usually do here on the channel. This is not actually a playthrough, but what this is I really quick just wanted to kind of update you guys on the Noble Fates game. If you haven't been playing it, it is absolutely fantastic. And of course, I want to say thank you so much to the publisher for sending it to me. But in the meantime, I did want to let you guys know that the workshop has been being updated. This game is so much fun. Obviously, there have been updates from the actual publisher, and some of those have been amazing, but I did want to go ahead and talk a little bit about some of the popular mods that are here in the workshop. Now, the reason I'm bringing this up is because the game itself is infinitely moddable. What's really cool about the game is it's actually designed by the publisher to be, or the developer, I guess I should say, to be infinitely moddable, which is amazing because that means that we've got some really awesome mods. You can see that I've got quite a few of the most popular installed. And the reason I wanted to talk about this is because the person who makes some of those more popular ones is actually very fantastic. It keeps coming out with new stuff. So this is Karma Drak. Now they are releasing all of these amazing mods. You can go ahead and check them out if you're interested in playing the game yourself. What I really like about this though is there's entire new races. There are entire new objects, all kinds of stuff. This person has done so much work to try to make new stuff for the game. So kind of going in here now, we have some elves now in the game. Those have been, introduced after the new update, but there already was a high elf race, which I think is really cool. So it's almost like this game is just getting expanded every time you play it because this person is doing such an awesome job. Now, there are other mod makers. Of course, there are other mods, but I did want to go ahead and just kind of highlight the fact that Karma Drak is making some of the coolest mods for this game. And if you actually look at their workshop, I mean, they're producing so many mods. And it's not just that, they're updating them frequently. So when the game was updated to have new visuals, they went ahead and actually updated their visuals, which I thought was really cool. So I wanted to go ahead and just kind of show you guys, I'm obviously following Karma Drak, but I noticed that not enough people are paying attention to what's going on in the workshop here, at least not on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and go back, and I do want to talk just a little bit about Noble Fates itself. The game is really good. There have been so many updates done, but now you can actually have like a wedding and stuff in the game, and that is pretty cool. The game itself has been constantly being improved, and I know that one of the very first times that we played it here on the channel, I played it when it was really in its alpha stage, and the game has completely changed since then. What I think is really cool about this is that it keeps getting better, and they really are taking a lot of the feedback from people who are playing it. So the developers are doing a fantastic job of including all of the fixes, but also adding new content that people are asking for. I know that I'm a huge fan of this, and I'm really hoping that eventually what happens is we end up getting maybe some kids now that we have marriage. Maybe we can continue our dynasties through children or something like that. But either way, it's a really, really exciting game. I love playing it, and I wanted to go ahead and just show you guys some of the cool stuff that is going on. All right, so jumping into the actual game here, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys, I just recently installed K Artistry. So what you need to do is you need to go ahead and click load, and then you need to choose where you want it to be in the order. You don't necessarily have to choose the order, but I have found that if you really want these to work without crashing, you're going to need to do the load order. Now, what I've been doing with load order is I have been putting my races up as number 1, and then I'm kind of moving down farther as we get adding different things in here. I'm looking at doing most of the like ranching, the artistry, most of those different items, plants, and putting those kind of in the middle. And then other things like adding in the karma tweaks, I'm putting that at the end, and faster trees I also have installed because the trees take forever to regrow, and it drives me crazy. So once you go ahead and put that into your load order, you'll see here, I have to go ahead and add it. So number 7 is where we want it to go. Now here it is. So K Artistry. You will also notice we have a couple here that are not, and that's because we have to put this one in before we put in the other one. So some of these will actually rely on loading another one first, and that's something that you're going to want to make sure you're looking at. So here we need to do Karma Loot. We need to do that after abandoned supplies. So something just to keep in mind, using your load order will really help, and then it will actually force you to restart your game at that point. Not a big deal, takes a little bit longer than obviously to reload your game. Once it reloads though, the first time it takes a little bit longer, and then subsequent times that you load the game, it won't take as long. Now remember that if you decide to install mods into your game here in Noble Fates, you cannot remove them once they are installed. If you are in the middle of a game, you will have to restart. You can add a mod mid-game, but you cannot remove one. So don't make that mistake. All right, now when you go ahead and start your game, if you try to go ahead and load it up, you're going to notice that there is something that says mod mismatch. If you click match, what's going to happen there is it's going to remove all of the new mods that you installed, and it is going to only enable the mods that match that specific save profile. Now that's fine if you are adding a mod, but remember you cannot remove one. So here we're going to go ahead and load it up. It's okay. It's that we can't remove them mid-game, but we can add them mid-game. So never forget that, because I'll tell you what, I haven't tried, but I've played plenty of games where if you remove the mod mid-game, it will crash your whole game. And if you're like me and you allow all of your saves to be backed up to the Steam cloud, let me tell you right now, it is really hard to get the Noble Fates ones off the Steam cloud. I'm not even sure why. Maybe that's my fault. If somebody knows what I'm doing wrong, let me know. But now that we can go into the actual game, you can see that I actually do have some of the different racials in my game. So you can see we have some different folks hanging around. And then this also too, includes the new look, the new like game mechanics and looks of the recent patch. Definitely my favorite would be these guys. I love the kobolds. I think they're totally adorable. They're just so cute. They're so cute. The high elves, I don't know. I could do without that face, if I'm honest. Ooh, I have to move it here. I could do without that face, if I'm honest, but that's okay. I don't mind it. I do really like the way they updated the orcs, though. They look adorable. I really love it. So, as we're going through here, what we can actually do, and here's the Lizardmen. By the way, if you haven't seen the Lizardmen, I love them too. They're definitely one of the more adorable races that was added. Here, let's see if I can get just a little bit. No! Oh, I can't get close enough, but you can see his eyes. I love it so much. I think they're so cute. So anyway, let me go ahead and go into my actual kingdom. And if you haven't heard me talk about how much I play this game, it's a lot. I really like this game. So we're going to go ahead and go in here first and kind of take a peek at some of the other things that I have done through my mods. So one of them is I do have the farming mod installed, which means I have things like this cabbage farm. Now, I think it's really cool to have these. This is my tiny apple farm. You can see these little tiny trees that are growing up. This gives you more options of things that you can make besides your standard grapes. There's the grapes, there's the pumpkins, there is, the berries, that kind of stuff. This actually adds all of these different options. Also, in the recent updates, you can now have some actual flower farms, which I thought was really cool. So that's one of the very first things that I've really gotten into adding. The other would be all the opportunities to have other animals. The ranching pack is amazing. One thing I will say is you have to make sure that you have at least one, if not more than one noble, just to handle all of your ranching, because it's going to be a big deal. Bones is another one. You can actually build some bone structures. So really early on in the game, you pretty much start out with very little options. But now if you go ahead and add things, you can get things like cage walls, bone, all of that stuff, which I think is really cool because this game is really designed to be infinitely customizable, and it gives you more options to actually build off of. Same thing with doors here. You can see all of these. So the brick here, all of these were added by mods. Same thing with our garden here. So we could go ahead and put some grass down. Now I have a small little, here we go. I have a small little graveyard back here. This wouldn't be a bad idea to throw this in. Maybe we should, yeah, let's just do this. So we would be able to put in some grass here. Now, if I want to, I can take whoever I want to go ahead and build these. Let's see, who do I have that builds in here? I have a really bad habit of not knowing who. That's right, Nell is my builder. Okay, so I can go ahead and have Nell build everything for me. There we go. I don't know why I keep accidentally. I do know, actually. It's because I've been playing another game where that's the speed. Rather than this is the speed. It's 1 through 4 in this game. But in, oh gosh, what is that? The Guild 3, it is plus and minus. Oh, the weed castles have been spotted nearby. So that is our enemies. But one thing that I really like too about this, if we go ahead and take a peek into the actual decor menu, you can see that there's also other options. So if we wanted to go ahead and add maybe some different garden options, I think these are really cool. This gives you the ability to really customize your area. Maybe you want it to look like an oasis or something like that. I think that's a really cool idea. The other thing is we have different things like the plants, so tabletop plants, so you have your regulars, but then you also have these cute little tabletop plants, which I think are super sweet. And you might notice that I put a few of those in our graveyard because I figured if they grow in the graveyard, that's probably where I would leave potted plants, right? But there's all kinds of stuff you can go and take a peek at and just kind of look around at. Here we don't have artistry. My people do not know how to do art, but that's okay. We don't need it right now. Instead, we're going to look at the benches and we're actually going to take a peek at the easel. So we have the easel here. You can go ahead and take a look. If I can remember which buttons are which. We also have the sculptor, and then we also have this farming one. Okay, and then stone cutters. So let's put these out. So what basically these extra benches do is they're giving more opportunity for your people to actually make things. You can add the tasks as you go. This one is really cool because you can actually make seeds. It does take away your food though, so be careful about that. But you can go ahead and actually put these things together. What I think is really cool about this is, again, it gives you the option to kind of change things around. Maybe you like having the hearth, but maybe you'd rather have a kiln style, or maybe you're looking for something that's a different type of hearth. Maybe you're trying to make things look a little bit fancier. I think this looks a lot better when you're looking at the fine wood in the background. So things like that might be a really great option for you if you're interested in kind of updating the game to play it whatever way you want. I think it's really, really fun to do some different things and just be kind of, experimental with the game. But remember, if you install a mod, you need to keep it. You can't get rid of that mod mid-game. Oh, looks like we are being raided, which is fine because honestly, I'm going to restart this. But one thing that's really cool about this is I have decided from now on that all of my settlements will have these walls built around them. It works surprisingly well. For some reason, it funnels them all through this one door, and I can't even remember where my door is, but it funnels everyone through one door. So basically, they all have to come through here in order to fight me. It's kind of amazing. You would think with the grappling hooks that it would be a huge problem, but really it's not. I'm surprised how many of them don't use the grappling hooks. But anyway, that's my quick update on Noble Fates here. I know I went a little off on the actual gameplay there for a second, but that's my update on Noble Fates itself. If you're interested in checking out any of these mods, please feel free to go and check out the workshop. The game is absolutely fantastic. I really enjoy playing it now that they've got the bandits in it, and they've got the weddings, and they've got the elves, and there's so many different things you can do, especially when you are adding so many of these fantastic mods. It really has become just an amazing game. Not that it wasn't already, it's become even better. So definitely if it's something you're interested in, or if you're interested in making mods for the game, I'll tell you what, there are some people out there who are very dedicated to playing it. I see a lot of their videos online because I'm going to be honest, I've become kind of a Noble Fates head. If you want to make mods for it, I guarantee you people will appreciate it. So just thought I would go ahead and show it to you guys. If you're interested, I can go ahead and play more Noble Fates, talk a little bit more about the tips and tricks that I use to play it. But let me know if you would like to see that in the comments. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, but I'll see you